Discussion on Zakat of Male Zimar and the Masarif of Zakat. Zakat of Male Zimar, Inaccessible Wealth. Male Zimar refers to wealth that is in one's ownership, but it is difficult for the owner to access. For example, someone lent money to another, but the borrower is not repaying it, and the lender cannot produce proof of the loan. Then, after a long time, the lender recovers the loan. Similarly, it is also male zimar if someone usurps another's property and the owner cannot produce proof of the usurpation, but after a long time, the usurper returns the property to the owner. Likewise, it is male zimar if someone loses their wealth and finds it after a long time. Again, it is male zimar if someone's wealth was exported and they received it after a long time. Similarly, it is male zimar if someone buried their wealth in a field but forgot the location, then found it after a long time. Zakat is not obligatory for the past years regarding male zimar. The Masarif or heads of expenditure for Zakat. Allah Ta'ala has determined the Masarif or heads of expenditure for Zakat in the Holy Quran. Regarding the Masarif of Zakat, Allah Ta'ala says, Sadaqah, i.e. Zakat, is only for the poor, the needy, those employed to collect it, those whose hearts are to be won over, for the freeing of slaves, for those in debt, for the cause of Allah, and for the wayfarer. This is an obligation from Allah. And Allah is all-knowing, all-wise. Surah At-Tawbah. Allah Ta'ala has mentioned 8 categories in the Holy Quran regarding those upon whom zakat is to be spent. The second Caliph, Umar, radiallahu anhu, excluded from the Masarif of Zakat those among the disbelievers to whom Zakat was given to attract them towards Islam. His argument was, the foundation of Islam has now become strong. Therefore, this portion, i.e. for those whose hearts are to be attracted, has been dropped. None of the Sahaba, radiallahu anhum, objected to this step of Hazrat Umar, radiallahu anhu. Therefore, the exclusion of this category of people from the Masarif of Zakat is proven by the ijma, consensus, of the Sahabi Kiram, radiallahu anhum. Consequently, there are 7 categories to whom zakat is to be given. The definitions of these 7 categories and the rulings related to them are mentioned below. 1. Fakir, the poor. One who owns less than the nisab amount of wealth. It is permissible to spend zakat on one who owns less than the nisab amount, even if he is healthy and capable of earning. 2. Miskin, the destitute. One who owns nothing at all. One who has no home, food, or money. One whose condition is hand-to-mouth. Whether he survives by begging or by working, he must be given zakat. 3. Amel, collectors. Those who are employed to collect and store zakat and ashur, they are to be given remuneration from the zakat funds according to their labor. 4. For the freeing of slaves. This category refers to slaves who are contracted for freedom, mukatab. Those who are engaged in work for someone under specific conditions in exchange for a specific contract. This class does not exist currently. If they are found, zakat is to be given to them. 5. The debtor. A person who is in debt and, after paying off the debt, does not possess nisab amount of wealth. Rather, in many cases, it becomes difficult for them to sustain their lives. It is better to give zakat to such individuals to pay off their debts than to give it to a fakir. 6. Fi sabilillah, in the way of Allah. These are poor mujahideen or hajj pilgrims in the path of Allah. Those who set out for war or hajj but, due to their travel funds running out, are unable to reach the battlefield or the Baytullah. Zakat must be given to them. 7. Ibn Sabil, the wayfarer. A traveler who has wealth in his homeland but has run out of resources during the journey. He must be given zakat so that he can reach his homeland. It is permissible for the person upon whom zakat is obligatory to give zakat to all these categories. Similarly, it is permissible for him to give it to any one of the existing categories. Those to whom zakat cannot be given. It is not permissible to give zakat to certain categories of people. Zakat cannot be given to the following individuals. 1. It is not permissible to give zakat to a kafir, disbeliever. 2. It is not permissible to give zakat to a wealthy person. 3. It is not permissible to spend zakat on the child of a wealthy person. 4. It is not permissible to give zakat to the Bani Hashim and their freed slaves. 5. It is not permissible to give zakat to the ascendants of the owner of nisab, wealth. For example, father, grandfather, and his upper lineage. 6. It is not permissible for the owner of nisab to give zakat to his descendants. For example, son, son's son, and his lower lineage. 7. It is not permissible for the owner of nisab to give zakat to her spouse. Similarly, a wife cannot give zakat to her husband. As for other relatives, it is better to give zakat to them if they are eligible. 8. It is not permissible to spend zakat on constructing mosques, madrasas, repairing roads, or repairing bridges. It is not permissible to spend zakat for the shroud of a deceased person or to pay off the debt of a deceased person. This is because, in these scenarios, no specific person is made the owner of the spent money. And zakat payment is not valid without transferring ownership of the zakat wealth. If relatives are eligible for zakat, they must be given zakat first. Then, it is better to spend zakat on neighbors. It is makruh, disliked, to give a nisab amount of wealth to a single person as zakat, e.g. giving someone 20 mithqal of gold or 200 dirhams of silver. However, it is not makruh to give a debtor more than the nisab amount to pay off his debt. For example, if a zakat payer gives someone 1,000 dirhams to pay off a debt, it will not be makruh. It is makruh to move zakat from one area to another without necessity. However, it is not makruh to move zakat to reach the relatives of the zakat payer. Nor is it makruh to move zakat to give to people who are more needy than the people of the zakat payer's own area, or where it is more beneficial for Muslims. In such cases, moving zakat will not be makruh. For example, giving to religious madrasas.